Hey guys, I wanted to come on and just give you guys a little summer update. I think a lot of us make big plans for the summer. I know that I do, and I think I'm going to do all these things, and then summer starts and I realize, oh wow, I'm not doing all of those things. So we're about 3 weeks into our summer break, and I thought I would share with you guys a little bit about what we had planned and what we're actually doing and kind of what's going on in our house for our homeschool summer. The first thing that I can start with is our read aloud. That is something we do very consistently. We are reading aloud every single night, and so the book that my kids picked for the summer is the PENDERWICKS. I think this is a great book for the summer because it's about 4 sisters and their summer vacation. And I have 3 girls, 10 and under, so I have a son too, but I'm reading to 3 girls, and so I think they're really loving relating to these sisters. We're only like 3 chapters in and we're hooked already. Every night we're going through, or we're excited to start reading because their personalities are so strong and we just love the different characters. So this has been super fun, and we are just reading it at night, reading and talking about it, not doing anything in particular. You know, the creative mind in me is thinking of all the things that you could do, but we're just taking it easy and just reading it for fun. That reading aloud, that's something that always happens. We are still doing our bedtime routine. If you've seen that video before, we do scripture memory and hymns at night. That's something super simple, and since it's kind of a habit, then we just continue to do it. I think my kids enjoy it. I think it kind of like winds them down before bed. So if you haven't checked that video out, go ahead and do that. We did take the catechism out for now. I'm not sure if I'm going to add that back in when the year starts. That's something I'm still thinking about, but we are doing scripture memory and memorizing hymns. Okay, so what kind of stuff am I going to do during the school year to keep brains fresh? Well, I had a plan. I wanted to do math games for sure. I have all of the facts that stick, well, 3 of them, the addition facts, the subtraction facts, and the multiplication facts that stick. I've actually worked through these 2 completely with my oldest child, and I loved it. She was always counting on her fingers, and it was driving me crazy. And I bought these and loved it so much, loved how fun it was, loved the connection and the bonding that we were having when we did it, that it's actually kind of what turned me on to Kate Snow's curriculum, Math with Confidence, which I now use with 2 of my kiddos. We love these books. So my goal was to use this with my 8-year-old this summer, and I was gonna work through multiplication facts that stick with my oldest child. We have worked through about half of this towards the end of the school year and the first part of our summer, but I'm not gonna lie, there's a part of me right now that just really wants to let go of all the planned things and allow ourselves to just relax and enjoy nothingness. I'm really feeling the need just for some rest, and that's what we've been doing the last couple of weeks. If we feel like doing a game, then I will pull it out, but I do not have any sort of routine for these books. I listened to a great podcast recently from, I think it's Simple Farmhouse Life, and she was interviewing Lindsay from Treehouse Schoolhouse. I think I'm saying that correctly. And they were talking about their summer rhythms and how they school through the whole year and they don't really have a summer break. I did that last year, and I feel like I might have done it incorrectly. I think I went a little too strong. Listening to them and how they did it really made me feel a little bit more like that sounds like something that we can do in the future. And what I mean by that is just taking it simple. Instead of trying to find something that they can like keep their minds sharp, if I feel like we get to a point where we're ready to start doing things to like keep math going, I'm literally just gonna get out their math curriculum and say, let's do a math lesson. You know, and just do that. And when we have time, if we want to pull out a math lesson, I think we're going to do it, because those first parts of those math books, you know, their review anyway. And so I think that that's just kind of my goal. We haven't done that yet. I thought maybe this week we might, but I'm still feeling that like, I think I'm just going to rest for a little bit. So that's my plan. I will put a link to that podcast because I really like just listening to their flow of things. And it made a lot of sense of what she was saying about summer, like she's allowing herself to just continue in her curriculum as she sees fit, but then still allowing herself to enjoy summer, say yes to things in the summer. And I really liked that. So I feel like I'm headed there, but we're spending a couple weeks just in nothingness, and I've enjoyed that as well. I did buy a couple of math games to kind of kick off our summer because I thought it would be fun. And I actually love both. So if you're interested in seeing a closer look at these games, let me know. But I got this one called Perfect Timing because one of mine needs some review on clocks. And this was a really cute game, and it's great for all ages, even my oldest one. And my 5-year-old played it with help. So definitely a really good one to practice time. And then the other one I got is Math Magical World. This one is really cute. If you've ever played Sum Swamp before, it's basically the exact same game, except there is a lot more to it. There's a lot more spaces, a lot more movements, a lot more things are happening on each stepping stone. So they're both super fun. My kids have already played them a couple of times, so we are reviewing it just in game form. So that's the plan for math. You know, I have these books if I want them. We are playing board games, and if I feel the need to just kind of get going, I think I'm just going to pull out our curriculum and start at the beginning, which is most of the time review. So that's where we're headed with that. For reading, I'm doing ABECEDARIAN with one of my kiddos, and when we finish the year, I told myself, okay, you know what? If I do this for this many minutes, this many days, I can get this done in 2.5 weeks. I think we're at the same place where we left off. I did not do that. This is still here. If I don't, I'm not stressing about it. I'm just not, because she is reading to me. She, ever since we started this curriculum, her desire to read has grown so much, and she's picking up a lot more books from the library and just around the house and anywhere in general and trying to read them. So she's reading something to me right now. She read me a little chapter of Mercy Watson last night, which I was so proud of her. So she is reading, and to me that is good. If I don't get to this for a while, I'm not gonna freak out about it. I'm just gonna pick up where we left off when we start up our year. So this is here. I will do it if I feel necessary, but right now she is just reading to me, and that has been a joy, and it feels really good to kind of take a break from the constant review. So I absolutely love this program. I have videos of a look through for this if you're interested. But yes, 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 this has been wonderful. We will continue to use it. But right now I'm trying to just take a break from sitting down and doing lessons. It's been nice to just enjoy things relationally through games and reading books and that sort of thing. So that's what we're doing for her reading. Last week I did a homeschool room clean out. I made sure that all of our work from the year was put in my kids' portfolio and closed up, ready to store away. I might have shown portfolios here before, but I love having these. This is my second year to have them. My state does not require this, but I love it and my kids love it. We love to look back on what we've learned throughout the year. They love seeing what they've written, and it's just a nice product for what they've learned. So in here I have their weekly checklist that I do. This is for the whole year. I do not keep a planner. This is what keeps our record of what we're doing. They have a tab for math and language arts, and all of our history narrations are in here. And anything else that I just love, I've put in here. We kept a language arts notebook, and I put that in here as well, because I throw away textbooks. I do not hang on to them. So I'll take a couple of things from certain books that we do, and I will keep it in here. But these are packed and ready to store. I just need to get them stored. I went through my bookshelf and purged textbooks. I told myself, let go of it. There were quite a few that I was hanging on to just in case, and I just decided to let it go. So that shelf is purged out. Artwork that we had displayed, I cleaned out our math supplies. I have here this little cart. I've got some logic of English stuff here, but in this little bucket I have all of our math manipulatives, so I went through and cleaned that out. So the whole homeschool room kind of got a refresh, And that felt really good. You know, it feels good to kind of have that whole clean out and start getting ready. I was having piles of like new curriculum and new things that were coming in, and they didn't have a place because the old stuff was still there. So it was nice to make that transition. So that's another thing that we've been up to, or I've been up to. I did start planning for next year. So very little because I have other stuff that's going on. But if you would like to kind of see this in detail, let me know. But the way that I start my plan is I take like a yearly calendar and first decide, okay, when are we going to start? When are we going to take breaks? And when are we going to end? And that sort of thing. So that is finished. So I did this the best that I could. When it comes to like next spring, I don't really know when we're going to do spring break. We don't really do a vacation in the spring, and I have some other stuff that I'm still waiting for. So I did the best that I could. I'm not going to be glued to this. This is just to give me an idea and to make sure I really do set a goal to take a break about every 6 weeks. So I did put that in there, and we will be starting our school year either July 8th or July 15th. I'm going to wait as we get closer to see how ready we are. We're going to take a big vacation in August, which I'm really excited about, but we're going to be gone for 2 weeks. And I want to make sure, I think it would be really nice to get in kind of a full 6 weeks to start, and then we can come back and keep going. So that was the first step in the planning. Now where I'm at is I printed off little monthly sheets. You can just print these off for free online. I'll print these off and I'll go ahead and put the breaks with my pencil that I recorded in here. And that's about as far as I'll go for this. It just becomes like a family calendar at that point. I'm not really going to plan anything into too many details. Eventually, I will fill out my monthly planning sheet, which I have lots of videos on those, but I will fill that out just for July though. Like I don't do it a whole bunch of months at a time. I will just do it for July, and then that will kind of kick that off. And I do it like that because it allows me to kind of figure out what we need. We're starting Math with Confidence 3, and their lessons are a lot longer, and I have no idea what our day is going to look like. So it's going to be kind of like a guess of what we're going to be able to get done. And then once I get going, I can figure out, okay, what is a good pace for us? So that's why I like to stick to that monthly plan. Okay, so that's for planning. That's what I have to do, but it feels good. I don't feel stressed out. We have picked our curriculum. Not a lot is changing from what we did towards the end of the year. So I think maybe soon I can do kind of like a curriculum pick video to let you know what we're doing, but I am excited about the new stuff. I am bringing on a full-blown, full-time kindergartner. She has already started her kindergarten work, but something about the start of next school year is it's official. I really do have to sit down and do the work for her. It's been kind of like as she wants to thing. But I'm not worried about it. I think it'll be fine. Okay, the other thing I am up to is I am planning our American history. I have shown videos on here before. I write history curriculum through, it's called American History through picture books. And we work through the timeline of American history using only picture books. It is the most outstanding, fun, engaging way I have ever learned history in my life. I knew nothing about history before I started this, and I can have full-blown history conversations with people now, and it is very exciting for me. It is such a joy and a blessing to learn alongside my kids, and we have just had the best time doing this. Textbooks are boring. I think we all know this. I mean, it is rare that you find a textbook that can really grab you, and that is why I focused on picture books. And I work through the timeline of history through picture books. I will link a couple of videos of the first 2 parts, but we will be doing part 3 this semester, and I am already picking the books, and it is so exciting to see what's to come. So we will complete that, and then it will be available for you guys at the end of the semester, so around December time-ish. Just to give you a little bit of preview, here is some of the first books that I've picked. We're starting with Reconstruction, which is the time period right after the Civil War. It's always hard to pick just one book. I come across so many books, and they are just really special. But I know sometimes when there's a whole selection, you wish somebody would just tell you what to do, and that is why I've decided I just pick the one. It's always hard, but I do a lot of research. I find multiple books on a topic and I look through all of them, and I pick the one that I think is going to be a best fit for families. We're going to be going into the Wild West. This is Gail Gibbons. You have probably seen a bunch of her books. She has so many beautiful books, but this is going to take us into the Wild West, which is exciting. So this is one of the first books. I am excited about this one because we are actually going to see this monument. We will be traveling to South Dakota, so this is going to be super fun that it actually lines up with what we're studying. It's written by Joseph Bruchac, which we have, if you do our history units, we have done some of his before. He is a great author, and I love his books. We're doing the Wright brothers, and I just picked that book today. So this is a cute little series about fly on the wall history, and they have a few different ones, but I felt like this was the best pick that gave us a really good idea of who the Wright brothers were and what they did in their first flight. So that's just a preview of what's to come. It's only 4 books. I'm aiming to have 25 to 30 on this curriculum. I don't know exactly what that's going to be yet because it starts big, and then I shrink it down to what feels doable in a semester. So this is going to be super exciting. I am just giddy with all of these picture books in my house. My librarians are my best friends now. They know I walk in that I have a whole stack, and I tell them I'm writing this curriculum, so I'm so sorry, and they say, no, it's okay, you give us a job. So it's been a lot of fun, and if you can't tell, I really love doing this. But yeah, so that is what's going on with American history through picture books. So be on the lookout for that. Definitely check out the links if you think that would be something that you're interested in. So other than that, for summer, I'm trying to keep up with our morning routine. I'm trying to, we are sleeping in, but I am trying to be like, okay, remember, now we get dressed, now we do this, now we do our chore. So I do try to keep that up so that we don't get to where we need to start, and I'm feeling like we're having to catch up with that again. So my kids do have a morning routine, and I'm working on keeping that up to date. It's definitely a little bit slower than it usually is, but I think that's okay as long as we're still kind of keeping up with those habits. Other than that, I really, right now, our days are just free flow, and it feels really good. When we start to get an itch, we will work on something else. Oh, I wanted to tell you, my oldest daughter, people say all the time that the learning never stops. They really do love it. They love learning. And my oldest daughter has developed an interest for French. And we used a couple of things last year. We ended the year with Duolingo. She really liked Duolingo, but I just didn't feel like it was really doing anything. Like if you asked her, can you say something in French? She really couldn't grab it, because it's just this constant matching, and I wanted her something to be a little more interactive. So we're actually trying out Rosetta Stone this summer, and she's really loving it. So it's been about 3 weeks that she's done it, and I like it because it's actually recording her voice. So it will say something, and then she has to repeat it back. So she is required to speak, and I like that about Rosetta Stone. It's a little more expensive, but on Mother's Day, they had this huge sale, and it was an incredible price. I didn't grab it then, so we're just doing kind of a 3-month go to really see, okay, is this going to be a good fit? But if it is, then she will continue on with that for the year. So we are doing Rosetta Stone this summer, and she just does that on her own. She'll say, oh, I have to do my French, and I'll say, okay, good deal. But that she just loves learning French. I did not intend for her to learn French, but that's what she wanted to do. So I think that interest in her has really given her that drive. The other thing is she is really interested in piano. We've done multiple things. I have tried teaching her piano. I am not a good piano player. I know very basics. I think I took 1 year of lessons as a kid. So, I can teach her barely anything, and I've tried to do it that way, but we really can't keep consistency with that. We have tried Hoffman Academy. but it always will last like 4 or 5 weeks, and then we kind of fall off of that. So recently she was like, oh, I just really want to do it, but piano lessons are really expensive to me, and I would love to put all of my kids in piano, but it just doesn't seem doable. We recently signed up for VOETBERG Music Academy. I think that's pronouncing right. And she loves it. So she's only on the 2nd week, but it has been so amazing for her. She loves doing it. Her piano playing has increased drastically in just the 2 weeks. But I need to tell you why. She has a gift for music. She can really hear things. So ever since she was little, she could hear a song and she could play it. And I knew she had a gift, which is why I wanted to always try to do piano, but we struggled with consistency. This VOETBERG Music Academy, they teach you to play by ear. So it is not classically trained piano lessons. So I think that's important to know if that's something that you're interested in. I don't know how I feel about that because I've never really like gone into that world. However, for her with that music ear, it has been insane what she has been able to accomplish in this last 2 weeks. When they taught her like 5 or 6 chords, and she's suddenly like composing hymns in my bedroom at the piano, and I'm just like, what? So VOETBERG Music Academy, we really love it. If you don't know anything about it, I did get a code from M is for Mama, so my first month was a little bit cheaper, but we used that, and I think we're going to keep going with it. Their setup is kind of like its own. It's not Facebook, but it feels kind of like a Facebook page where they have a wall and you can post and you can do like meetings with your piano tutor. They have like Zoom performances, which is really neat. So we're still new to this, but that's the other thing that we are kind of trying out this summer. So foreign language, French, we're doing some music. So wanted to mention that as well. Those will probably go into our year. Even if they don't, I feel like it's been a really good, fun thing to just kind of keep her brain going during the summer. So it feels like a lot, but it really isn't that much. We are enjoying the time off. We are enjoying the free schedule. It is already feeling really hot where we live, so we try to get outside in the mornings. It's another reason we start in July. It just gets really, really hot here. And so, we're stuck inside. We might as well do lessons. And then when it cools off, then we have more freedom to be outside and slow down a little bit. So anyway, I hope to kind of do some videos. If you want to see those math games, I can show you. If you want to see more into planning, let me know. Or if you want to know our curriculum picks, I can do that as well. So let me know in the comments what sounds the most interesting to you. And then we can touch base again. Happy summer!